Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Creatrix Conversations. I'm going to be sharing 5 things that I did to fill my first destination retreat. And I'm really excited to share this because I am still in the process of it. I leave for Ireland in 1 week's time, next Thursday, and it really is a dream come true. So I wanted to share because I know there's a lot of you out there that also dream of holding a retreat, of organizing workshops or whatever it may be. And how do you take that dream, that idea, and that seed and plant it so that it blooms and thrives and is successful? Because as I'm sure you have seen, because I certainly have, not all first-time destination retreats are successful, and it does take it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of strategy, and it takes a lot of magic to really make this kind of thing happen. So I'm really excited to share these 5 things today. Hello, yes, when you hop on or if you're watching the replay, please say hi. So before we get started, I'll introduce myself. In case you don't know me, my name is Flora Ware, and I am a sacred leadership mentor and circle priestess. So I help train women leaders and priestesses to increase their impact and their income. And really, I help women hear their soul's voice so that they can be guided by their own intuition and remember their wisdom and step into their power. And like I was mentioning, whether you want to organize a full-blown retreat, hello, thanks for hopping on. Whether you want to organize a whole retreat or even like a half-day or day workshop, or if you want to lead group classes of any kind, whether that's in person or online. And certainly also if you are feeling the call to lead circles, I want to let you all know that I am running my very popular Sacred Facilitators training program again this year, and we're starting in June. And right now pre-registration is open at 2018 prices and with extended payment plans options. So please reach out to me if that's something that you're interested in. This is facilitation skills training so that you can have the confidence to lead groups masterfully. Yes. Okay, so yeah, Fiona, you're sharing that you want to run your own international retreats. And so, so I hope that these 5 tips are exciting and helpful for you. So let me know if anyone wants information on Sacred Facilitators. Like I said, it's running again in June, and pre-registration's open now with some sweet deals. Okay, let's get started. Because Creatrix Conversations is my weekly download of all things mindset, marketing, and magic. And all of these videos are 15 minutes or less. So I don't like to keep anyone here for long. So I'm here every Thursday on live. So the first thing that I did to ensure that this was a success and to fill my first retreat was that I hired help. Organizing a retreat and all the logistics involved in that is not my zone of genius. And I'm willing to bet that it's maybe not yours either. And so I think the best thing that anyone can do, especially for the first time, is to get help, to get a partner on board. I was lucky that I had a friendship with this woman, a wonderful Thea Tressler of Intuitive Directions Retreats. She specializes in Ireland retreats, so she was a natural fit. So you might have to do some research and find some people. I know there are also courses out there that teach you how to run a profitable retreat and all of that. But I know for me, what I wanted to focus on was promoting and attracting the women to the event. I wanted to focus on organizing the itinerary and the content. I'm a sacred space holder. That's what I do best. So I wanted to leave all of the logistics to someone else. So I honestly think that was that's why it's number one. Number one, hire some help, get on board with a partner, and someone who's had some experience organizing retreats of this kind. You know, I know that some of my friends who have run retreats at resorts, say like in Mexico, it's a little bit easier because then you can have that that partnership with the accommodations, with the resort, for example, like that. So even if it's something like that, you have someone that's helping you out with all of those logistical details, so that you don't need to. You should be focusing on the content and on attracting the right people to go on this amazing adventure with you. So hire help. Number 2, even though I hired Thea as the partner, the second thing that I did that I really believe contributed to the success was that I did it my way. And, you know, not to sound like the Frank Sinatra song, but I did do it my way, because I didn't want this to just be a retreat, and I didn't want it to just be a tour of Ireland. I wanted it to be both. So I conceived and let my imagination run wild, if you will. Yes, hi Annika, I know, I leave in 1 week. So I let myself imagine what would be the ultimate, and then in speaking with Thea and just what, you know, what's then realistic, and the happy result of that was that pretty much everything that I imagined as the ultimate was also realistic. So yay. And so I say this in that don't try to follow anyone else's format, anyone else's formula. When you are conceiving and creating and receiving the inspiration for your event, whether it's a retreat or a workshop, do it your way, whatever that means. And for you, like whether it's the content or how you're doing it, or where you're going to be. So really bring in your uniqueness and make it feel unique, because you're doing it in your way. All right, number 3. This is a really important one, and definitely a big reason that I feel I was able to fill my first destination retreat was that I gave lots of time. Lots of time. Thank you. I first announced about this last June. And when I did announce it, of course, I didn't have specific dates. I just said, I'm really excited to announce this is a dream come true. I'm going to be leading a destination retreat in Ireland next spring. If anyone is interested in more information, let me know. Last June, I was saying this is happening in the spring. So I started stirring up excitement, right? And letting my community know, and letting people know. Then we officially launched and started doing registration in September. So you can imagine September for something that's not happening until April. And what is that, 8 months, right? Lots of time. Now, some people might think, oh my goodness, that's a lot of time. Like, how do you keep your energy up? I will admit it was challenging at times. Also because I felt like I have other things that I need to promote. I need to make income on things now. You know, I can't spend all my time promoting something that's not happening for a long time. So I had to be very strategic in terms of my promotional efforts. I would really like focus on my promotion of it for 2 or 3 weeks. Then I would take a break. And then it would just kind of be out there, but I wouldn't. And then a couple months later, I did another really focused push. And then again, I took, okay, wonderful. I know I've been watching that, Annika, that's really exciting. And so then I would take another break. And then, you know, after the year-end holidays, the winter holidays, again, another really focused push in January and into February. So I had to do it that way. But the reason that I feel having lots of time helped was that something that's a big investment and a big commitment, like not only financially, but people need to take time off work, need to take time off from their families. Some women, I had 3 women join pretty much right away. 3 women were ready to say yes and join right away. But quite a few others sat with the idea for months, right? They sat with it. And then every time they would see me sharing about it, they'd be like, oh, I really want to do this. And then, so then it took 5 months to fill it, right? It took 5 months to fill it. I wasn't just promoting it for 5 months, but that spaciousness is really important, because one thing that I've learned again and again, that in general, women do not like to be rushed. Women do not like to be rushed. We don't like it when something feels like it's hasty, or that there's pushy energy at all. And so give yourself lots of time to promote it and fill it. I've got something stuck in my hair right now. Okay. How are these landing? I'm hoping that this is helpful. It's giving you something to think about. Okay, so if I want to run a retreat or an event at this amount on this date or in this month, start promoting it. It's actually never too soon to start promoting something, because even if you don't have a landing page ready, you can still just start talking it up, stirring up the excitement, right? Okay, thanks to the hearts. Good, I'm glad. Okay, moving on. Like I said, these are quick, impactful little videos that I do every week here. So the fourth thing that I did, and this was a big one. The fourth thing that I did, I had to trust big time. And I paid the deposit to secure our accommodation and to secure our dates before we had enough people join. And I want to share this one with a bit of a caveat, because this would not always be the right decision for everyone in every situation, right? So you want to be really careful. So I want to be clear. I'm not telling everyone to just trust blindly and pay that $5,000 deposit before you know that you really have some interest. At that point, I believe we did have 5 women who had joined, but we really needed 12 to make this retreat happen. So we were less than half, right? So it was still a leap of faith. But because I was working with Thea, right? Because I'd had my hired help. Exactly. And I am so sorry to hear that. But thank you for sharing that. Annika says that she did that last time and she lost over $3,000. So it's not always the right thing. And that's why I'm sharing this. However, I guess thankfully in my situation, it was because I knew that we needed to lock in the dates. We needed to lock in the accommodations so that it was confirmed and that it just something was like solid. We did have 5 women who had said yes and had paid their deposit. And I was like, okay, I don't know where these 7 more women are going to come, but I trusted and I really did check in. And every time that I did check in, like with my cards and just with my energy and guides, everything was saying yes, green light. And so that was it was a good thing. We needed to confirm those. We needed to have the confirmation, but like I said, it's not always going to be the right decision. So you do really need to be careful. And so if you are working with a place that has like a 60-day or a 90-day cancellation, and so you want everyone registered early because of that, then that's why you want to give yourself lots of time. And you want to make that clear. This is why we need confirmations and we need deposits in before this date so that we can secure this place, right? Yeah, Annika. So that you kind of inform your people about why the deposit needs to come in so early. Well, it's because we're putting a deposit on the accommodation or whatever it is. Yes, that's right, Fiona. Got to get your guides on board. And also, it was me. I was promoting, Thea was promoting, and my co-facilitator Justine was promoting. And so that was the other thing. I didn't just have it all coming from me. And I also, then once the women who joined enrolled, like registered, I also shared information with them so that they could promote it to their friends network. So then they became, ambassadors for it as well. And at least one woman did join through a friend because she saw her post about it. So remember that too, that it's not just all coming from you. Empower and encourage. You can't force people, but empower and encourage the women who have said yes to then help you be promoting it as well, right? So close that because that's giving a funny light. All right. So just to recap now, the first tip was I hired help. Second was I did it my way. I couldn't help myself there. Third was lots of time. And number 4, that I trusted and I paid the deposit early once we got to that point. And then the 5th thing, and Fiona, you're already going to be here. The 5th thing that I did to fill my first retreat and to ensure that it was a success was rituals. I had an altar set up from back in September when it was officially coming together, dedicated to this event. I wrote in my journal, doing my sacred success journaling, writing about like really having clear manifestation about writing about this retreat, affirmations, EFT tapping, lots of visualizations, calling them in. You've got it. That's exactly it. Energetically aligning my frequency to be that very clear channel, that attractive frequency, and also it's a lot about my own confidence. Right now, like I said, I had some dips, I had some moments of doubt. I definitely did, and so yeah. But through my altar work, the meditations and visioning, I was also really communing with the guiding goddesses for this particular retreat. We're working with the triple goddess, the Celtic goddesses of Bridget, Danu, and Ceridwen, Maiden, Mother, and Crone. So I was also communing with them. Now that might not be applicable for something that you are doing, but if you work with archetypes or goddesses, and even if it's just a day workshop, who do you feel that you're calling in as a guiding goddess and work with them? And that's not even something you need to share publicly. I mean, I've been sharing publicly about this for this retreat, but for you, you could just say like, I'm calling in Athena, and I'm going to connect with Athena and see what information is coming through. And you're getting them on board as well. Yes, Fiona's saying clear channel and alignment. Absolutely. And really, if this event, if this retreat is in true alignment with you in the first place, I believe that it's already a success. Ooh, Annika, Ipona came forward for the next one. Ooh, that is so exciting. And I'm sure that you know that Ipona and Rhiannon are very much the same goddess. That's really, really exciting. I'm so glad you two are on here right now. So, I went to 18 minutes. I said 15 minutes or less, but I just want to recap. So hire help, do it your way, give yourself lots of time to promote it and to fill it. Trust yourself and make some decisions accordingly, that as long as they are relatively safe and then they're still feeling good, you've gotten enough green lights and signs, the trust is definitely there. And then rituals. Now I have created a ritual guide that outlines a couple of the specific rituals, the attraction rituals and the altar work rituals that I did. So yeah, and that's exactly it. It's some little thing could have been. That's exactly it. So I'm going to drop the link for my ritual guide. It's my magnetic clarity ritual guide. If that interests you, check it out. It's a free gift for you. And so you're welcome. And so If you are on Instagram, I invite you to connect with me on Instagram because I'm going to be doing a lot of stories when I'm in Ireland, and I'm also going to be beaming in live into my Facebook group, Awaken the Goddess Within. So I'm going to drop all the links for those things. I love you too. Mwah, mwah. I hope to see that your next retreat is a big success. You're going to make back that money and more that was gifted to the universe last time. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for everyone watching the replay. This is part 1. I'll be doing a part 2 when I'm back in May, sharing what I learned from the actual running of the retreat. So there you go. Lots of love, and I will see you around. So much magic in the air.